Mr. Lane, good morning. Good to see you got here safely today in one piece. I'm assuming there were no serious accidents on the way? No one ran into you? Nothing fell from the sky, landed on your head? I say this because if we're to believe what the defence has told us, we should put the Guinness Book of Records on alert for Mr. Lane. You are clearly the unluckiest man in the world.
Oh, I'm going to enjoy this.
Everywhere you go, terrible misfortune happens, and none of it your fault. You are simply, as my learned colleague informed us, a perfectly innocent man looking for love. Am I right?
Yes.
First, a woman you met on the internet and greatly liked, Holly Jackson, invited you to her house on the 4th of February, not in the hope of starting a deep and meaningful romantic relationship, as you hoped, but merely for extramarital sex, something you weren't interested in at all. Am I right?
That's correct.
And this was something you could never have seen coming, even though she stated quite clearly in an email exchange only 3 days prior to your meeting that with the right person in the right situation, I could be very naughty.
I didn't take that seriously.
Yes or no?
No.
Because you were an innocent man looking for love.
Yes.
And finding that love wasn't on the menu, you made your excuses and left.
Correct.
All of which would have been fine if Miss Jackson had not subsequently been found brutally murdered, with you having been the last known person to have visited her.
Yes.
So you can imagine what conclusions these witnesses came to, and it wasn't that you were a perfectly innocent man looking for love.
Yes.
My, how the gods have been unkind to you.
God, sir. Single. One God.
Of course. Silly of me. Then came Anna Knight, another woman you met on the internet who appeared to be after exactly the same thing as you, a committed relationship, but who rejected you after just one meeting. What bad luck.
Yes.
Bad enough to want to follow her and find out why, only to discover that her motives were no purer than Miss Jackson's. She was meeting another man.
Yes.
And what extraordinary bad luck that at precisely the moment you decided to follow her and were pinpointed at the scene of the crime by a mobile telephone call, she was being murdered by a man for whom there is, unfortunately, not a single shred of evidence. Is this really true?
Yes.
I suppose one shouldn't be surprised then that this run of inexplicably bad luck should continue with the third victim, Rebecca Chung, where once again you happened to be the last person she arranged to meet before she died. Is that really correct?
Yes.
Made worse on this occasion by several witnesses who recalled seeing a person matching exactly your description at the Green Man pub with the victim the evening before she died, a meeting you told the police never happened. Now further compounded by the extraordinary misfortune that the CCTV cameras, which just happened to catch you going home, infuriatingly cut out on a time-lapse at all the worst moments, and therefore don't show you not hailing the minicab and not getting into the car. Instead, they show you talking to the driver, the car doubling back, the car overtaking Rebecca Chung and stopping 300 yards ahead, leading people to the inconvenient but inescapable conclusion that you were actually in that taxi and lying in wait for Rebecca Chung before murdering her.
Look, we've already explained.
Correct. Yes or no?
I didn't hail that taxi.
Answer the question, correct or not.
Yes, it's correct! All right! Everything you say is correct! Now, perhaps you actually want to ask a few questions to which you do want to know the answer, instead of all this rhetorical crap with your smart-ass voice and your raised bloody eyebrow.
Mr. Lane.
It's a total disrespect to me and a total disrespect to the family of the victims.
Is that so? Members of the jury, the day I am admonished for disrespecting the victims' families by the man who stands accused of murdering them is a sad day indeed. Thank you. Mr. Lane? No further questions?